Hey guys, it's Miss S here. We're going to be doing another project together. We are going to be creating this beautiful geode. I mean, look at that. Shine and shimmer. I am so excited to do this with you guys. Now to create our geode, I'm going to have some pictures of geodes attached to the Google Classroom to take a look at that so you can get a feel of how to draw it. They are very jagged. It's a very jagged, organic shape. It's definitely not a circle, it's not a square, it's not a rectangle. This is an organic shape. So the more little edges you put that are kind of sharp, the better. Okay, so you might want to practice this beforehand and then come back to the video and you can take a look. What you're gonna need, as I've always needed so far, is a piece of white paper, some markers, at least 3, a black marker. Now the marker needs to be a permanent marker because we are going to be putting some water on top of it later and we don't want it to bleed and blend. So a Sharpie is what I'm going to be using. It's permanent and it won't move when water is touched. We're going to be using table salt to create a really cool watercolor effect, and when we put table salt on top of water, it absorbs all of that water and it creates like a little sparkly area of where the salt was. So you're going to need that as well. Optional, glitter. Sure, your parents don't want you taking glitter out at home. I rarely take it out in the classroom, but if you have it and you want to use it, go get it. You can use it at the end. I am going to show you how to use that. If you have a metallic marker, you can do that as well. Geodes do have this like shimmery effect when you open it from the crystal, so it adds a nice little touch to it. So what you're going to need again, white paper, markers, a permanent marker, table salt, a paintbrush, water, go grab all of your supplies, make a spot at your house, and let's get started.
I have my geode pre-drawn. I really want you all to take a look at the attachment on the Google Classroom and have your geode pre-drawn too before we start. If you want to draw a couple geodes beforehand to practice, that's great as well too. When you feel confident with your geode drawing, grab some markers. I'm going to be using 2 colors and a permanent, and let's get started. I'm going to be using 2 blues, a light and a dark. I'm going to use the darker one, and I'm going to outline using the broad part of my marker and outline the entire geode on the inside. When you're done outlining it once, I want you to outline it again. So we're giving it 2 thick blue outlines. Now I'm going to take my second marker, make a space where my blue marker was, and do the same thing, just making a smaller outline. Our rings that we're creating are essentially going to get smaller and smaller as we make the rings. We're going to make 2 outlines again with the lighter blue, or any color that you're using. Now get your Sharpie and outline that last ring you made on the inside. We have our first 3 rings done. Now we're going to repeat the same process 3 more times. So I'm going to do my blue twice, take a space, my light blue twice, and then again with my Sharpie. Now you need to get your paintbrush and some water ready for the next part. Once you have that, dip your paintbrush into the water, and we're going to lightly on the edge of the first ring paint it. The marker is going to start to bleed and diffuse, creating a nice watercolor effect. You're going to continue doing this all around your rings until all of the marker is painted. I like to go ring by ring to get the best watercolor effect. Now it's time to get our table salt ready. You are going to liberally sprinkle the table salt all over your painting. You don't want to just dump it everywhere. Literally just sprinkle it over and you're going to see the effect start immediately. You do have to wait for your painting to completely dry before you wipe off all the salt. So give it a couple hours or a day and come back to it. Now here comes the optional glitter part. I'm going to use a glue stick to create another ring in my geode. If you're going to do a couple rings, do this now. You want to do all the glitter at once. So I'm going to be gluing 2 to 3 rings. If you are doing the glitter part, maybe do it on top of a newspaper or a bin. Try to keep it as contained as possible. There you have it, friends, a beautiful, sparkly geode.